This week, the state of Arizona announced it would back the University of Arizona with at least $3.5 million to create 250,000 antibody tests to distribute to first responders and healthcare workers across the state. Leading the effort is University President Bobby Robbins, a physician himself who says the research university is the perfect institution to lead the way in Arizona.
We're taking a leap because this is unproven, but coronavirus, there are researchers at the university have been studying coronavirus for at least 2 decades. And if you look back to MERS and SARS, there was some immunity conferred by making antibodies to those viruses. So we think that there will be some immunity, whether it's 6 months, a year, 2-3 years, for this virus. If it follows basic biology, that's what we hope to see. So it'd be very helpful for frontline healthcare workers and for our students, just to have the knowledge and the ability for us to know how to intensely mitigate for those students who are immunosuppressed or going through chemotherapy or have had an organ transplant or whatever, versus those that have some antibody protection. That's why we're doing it.
You mentioned frontline workers, but in your press conference, you also alluded to the staff and students of the University of Arizona being a part of this testing. Is that something that you could see being a requirement before coming back on campus?
Well, remember, as I said, we were going to do this for all 60,000 people in our family, all faculty, all staff, and all students. But it will not be a requirement. It'll be a completely voluntary program. But you could imagine if when we bring students back and you're in a high-risk category, you may not want to come back face-to-face. And we're going to have a hybrid offering of remote, online digital platform and face-to-face classes.
You mentioned the large population, our student body. I mean, we have so many students who are international students or come from out of state. As you know, travel restrictions remain in place. Are you having conversations about what should happen to the student body should we not have as many people return as planned in the fall?
I think the international students, unfortunately, the new international students are going to be self-limited. We're planning for very few of them to come, because the embassies overseas probably won't be open until November. So they can't get their visas to be able to come to campus here in Tucson if they wanted to. The biggest question for me is going to be what happens to our domestic out-of-state students, those students from California, from Texas, from Illinois, the East Coast. Do they make the trip out to Tucson to come back to face-to-face classes? And that's going to be a serious consideration for us as we reopen the campus.
You've got about nearly 16,000 people employed by the University of Arizona. You've talked about hiring freezes, furloughs. Are layoffs also on the table as we move into this next phase?
Clearly, we're going to have to do some sort of furlough program. It'll probably be tiered. The people that make the most money will take the most days off. But we haven't finalized that yet. But like I said, I hope to announce that soon. Any furlough program has to be approved by the Arizona Board of Regents. And we've been in communication with them and let them know that because of this decrease in revenue and that we're probably going to be bringing a furlough program to them for their approval. In terms of layoffs, I think the hiring freeze is a de facto layoff program because we're not able to replace those jobs, and I'm not certain how long this hiring freeze will happen, but we're pretty convinced we're going to have major losses at least in the first semester, and it may last 15 months. So there will be inevitable layoffs unless we have some miracle and this testing program and the epidemiology of the virus or a vaccine were to come out sooner than the year to 18 months that we think. All those things we would change quickly, of course, to get people back to work and pay them.
A few days after our talk, Robbins released his proposed plan for furloughs and pay cuts, including 13 to 39 furlough days determined by a person's salary. Those earning at least $200,000 a year would also see a 20% pay cut. What's the plan for the fall of 2020?
Currently, as we sit here April 15th, my plan would be for us to be open face-to-face in the fall for our students, faculty, and staff to return. We'll have to obviously have a hybrid approach because as I said before, for some students, for some faculty members, for some staff, they're just not going to feel comfortable coming back in a face-to-face environment until there is a vaccine. So we're cautiously optimistic that we can go toward that and opening the campus. We want to be able to announce that publicly. I've been hinting at it. I've been pushing for it, but we need to work out all the details. We don't want to have opening too soon and have a false start here. And my main and all of our main objective is the safety of our students, our faculty, and our staff. It always has been and always will be. So we'll do this thoughtfully, but I think people are really anxious to get back and have those face-to-face meetings.